I will go ahead and demonstrate what is causing this issue, where we are clipping when we're hitting around -6 dB. Currently, I have my Neumann KMS 105 connected to the 18i20, gain cranked to 100%, so we are clipping. It sounds terrible, but that's the point. I also have OBS open and I am recording that audio, and then I have Logic Pro open and I am not recording that audio right now. What I really want to focus on with these two windows are the audio meters. So I will go ahead and say my favorite phrase from a movie. Oh my God! You can hear? I am clipping. It sounds terrible. When we look at the OBS meter, we are only hitting -6 decibels while we clip, but when we look at the Logic Pro meters, we're hitting 0 decibels when we are clipping. It took me a while to figure out what was causing this, but when we click on the gear icon for our microphone input on OBS and go to Advanced Audio Properties, I have my microphone input set to mono, meaning it is mixing down all of the inputs for the Focusrite to a single mono output. Let me go ahead and say, oh my God again, and we will look at the meters. Oh my God! We are hitting -6 dB, we are clipping. Let me go ahead and unclick this mono button, and I will do that again. Oh my God! So yes, now when I unclick mono and just let the channels route how they naturally do, OBS does display 0 decibels when we clip. So when I downmix everything to a mono track, it seems to lose a little bit of that level. Now let me go ahead and record my audio in Logic Pro, which is just a mono track, and then I will go into OBS, have the mono mixdown of the Focusrite 18i20, and see if there is any actual discrepancy of the audio. See if it actually affects the output level of the audio. Now I have the OBS and Logic Pro files dropped into a session. OBS is panned hard left, Logic Pro is panned hard right. I will play them and we will look at the meters to see if there is any difference in the level. Testing, testing, testing. I am recording the Neumann KMS 105 directly into Logic Pro on a mono track. It appears that the Logic Pro file, which was recorded as a mono track, is hitting -4.5 dB, while the OBS file, which was a downmix to a mono, is being recorded at -10.5 dB. So we are in fact losing 6 decibels of level when we downmix a source to a mono file in OBS. As far as the reasoning behind that, I believe that stems from something called pan law, where if you have the exact same sound source panned to the left and the exact same sound source panned to the right, you essentially have 2 of the same audio file, and that will increase the level by 6 dB. So when we use that mono mixdown button on OBS, we are mixing down one channel which has 0 dB of level, that's our microphone, and another that has -infinity on it. So it is nullifying that possibility of pan law. It is actually decreasing our level by 6 dB. Or at least that's my understanding of it. I am no master at this. This is me just trying to decipher what could potentially be causing this. As far as a solution to this, I don't know of any absolutes, but perhaps instead of OBS downmixing a multi-track input to a mono source, they could allow you to change the microphone input from a stereo track down to mono, and they could also maybe allow you to select what input from your interface you want to route to that microphone input as opposed to the routing matrix that they have right now. Just a suggestion, not 100% sure if that would work. They would have to do the research because they have to develop it, but that's my take on it. I hope that helped answer your question. Thanks so much for it. And there were a lot of comments regarding the OBS discussions over the last couple of weeks and the issue where when you sum down to mono, you end up with a level that is 6 decibels quieter and you peak at -6 decibels now. I went ahead and posted a video to Twitter actually right after I published last week's podcast, and I want to include that because I explain my theory on why that is. So let's go back to the past Twitter video right now. My theory is that OBS has a negative 6 decibel pan law compensation. So if you had the exact same audio source on a mixer coming out of the left and the right hand channel, and then you use that down mix to mono button on OBS, your signal would increase by 6 decibels. And if you had been setting your level so you were at 0 dB, now you would be clipping by 6 decibels. So in order to avoid that, when you down mix to mono, OBS automatically decreases the overall level by negative 6 dB. Now, when I was doing that demonstration and when most people are using that down mix to mono button, they just have a single microphone input, so they are not doubling up the audio source. So they are going to be losing 6 decibels of level to this pan law compensation without any way to say, OBS, I don't want you to do this other than adding a gain filter and cranking it up by 6 dB. So I think that OBS needs to roll out some kind of mono microphone channel as opposed to defaulting to stereo. Because as a stereo track, a lot of people aren't using stereo microphones. They need that mono input source. That's my take on it. Let me know what you think, because I may be way off base here, but that makes sense in my head. It just clicked after I posted that tweet and I wanted to share it. Okay, bye. So there you have it. That is my theory on why you clip at negative 6 dB once you have summed down to mono. It has to do with the pan law compensation. And I believe some folks in the comments said exactly that. But to be clear, I said it first. I said it first. I am the smartest man in the world, okay? Okay, I'm the smart one. Don't bully me. Don't bully me, please.